Is anyone here? Hi everyone, welcome to St Jerome's. Now I found another beautiful little church hidden away here in the Welsh countryside. The roads are fairly good to get to this church, but it is literally in the middle of nowhere. There's only farms around here. And as you can see in my little intro, there's a lot of nice cows that we'll have a look at in a minute. And also, the church does appear to be a little bit, I don't want to say it, but a little bit haunted. Now, I don't want to turn my channel into a haunted channel. It is a church touring channel. But after visiting this church and having another funny experience, I'm going to buy one of those spirit boxes. So next time I go to a church that has something a little bit supernatural going on, I'll use that spirit box and ask some questions. But 90% of the churches I go to are fine. There's nothing weird going on, and I want to keep it that way. I don't want to get pulled to that whole haunted thing, even though people do enjoy it. I understand that. I enjoy it myself. So yeah, later in the video when we're inside, I'll show you that little clip, that little teaser clip. And normally I keep myself absolutely silent and I do a voiceover like I'm doing now, but it felt strange there, and I just asked a question and I sort of seemed to get an answer straight away. So surrounding this little church is a load of fields, and they were full of these cows. And I got straight away sidetracked because I love animals, and these are like magnificent beasts, quite loud. It looks like there's mixed cows and bulls, and I haven't got a clue about them. So if anyone knows what breed this is, let me know in the comments. Now there was a lot of these cows, and they were big, and there's a little stream that separates them from the church, and obviously the church has its own wall, but also a very flimsy gate. So I was trying not to attract them too much. I did not want them pushing through the gate and getting into me. So I'll talk about a little information about the church while we watch these lovely animals. It's a grade 1 listed building, and it was first built in the 12th century. This church is now looked after by the Friends of Friendless Churches, which is a charity that I have talked about before, and I've been to a few of their churches now, and I'll stick this one on their playlist. So if you like this kind of thing, check out that playlist. So in the 19th century, the church was in a really bad condition, and it was partly rebuilt and had heavy restoration done between 1863 and 1878. I believe the Friends took over the church in 2013 and made a lot of repairs themselves. Now I'm not sure how bad it was when they took it over, but the church now looks like in a great condition. It's just the way these churches should look, like they would have done hundreds of years ago. So I was a little bit concerned about these cows because when I come to these old churches, I like to try and keep the doors open, because when I'm inside, I do feel a little bit trapped, and they are a bit creepy, these churches. Now, people who watch these videos keep commenting and saying, "Oh, the church is fine, nothing can happen to you there," but you're not in my situation. You're not in the middle of nowhere on your own, you know. So yeah, I opened the door up and it did stay open, which was great. But then I was just praying that these cows didn't somehow break in, which they didn't. So for those of you who have watched my other video about a haunted church, which actually is doing really well, um, you might have seen that I couldn't actually keep the door open, and I think that's why I had such a ghostly experience. And I'm not here to have ghostly experience. I'm here to do the tours of the churches. So this church was actually very bright. It's got the same kind of pews, and it's a lot bigger. So in theory, it's a bit more scary than that church was. Now, one of the most beautiful things in this church is the rood screen and loft. And this was made in the 15th century, like a lot of them were. And originally, it would have had Jesus there on top, and it's been replaced with just a simple cross. Um, this has got some beautiful carving on it, lots of like leaves, and I think there's pomegranates in them, and these will have meanings as well. Every sort of like thing that's carved will mean something on there. There's a very simple organ here in the church, and it doesn't look like it still works. This is a very sort of large church, and normally you would get like a bigger organ with pipes. But I suppose this would have been just for farmers, and very small hamlet this place is. So the rood screen here totally separates the nave from the chancel, and it's got little doors on it. And I tell you the truth, I was a little bit nervous going through these doors because it was a lot darker inside that bit. Hello? What's that? Is anyone here? I don't want to talk too much now because there was lots of weird noises going on. But at the time, I just didn't want to fixate on it. I just wanted to keep filming and then get out of the church. So I headed outside again to check out some of the gravestones, and there's quite a few very unique ones. This one looks a little bit like they're aliens on the actual the pictures of them. So it does appear that there's some fresh graves here. So although this church is actually redundant, I think it still is consecrated so that the locals can get buried here still. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments if you think this church is haunted as well. As I said before, not every video will be like this. I'm going to just do normal tours as well. But because it's Halloween in a couple of days, if my spirit box turns up, I'm going to go to a graveyard and do a video there. So that should be hopefully interesting. We'll see what happens. So keep an eye out for that one. Please hit like, and if you haven't already, please subscribe. The channel is starting to get bigger now, which is great. And the bigger I get, the more and more I can go to different places. I'll leave you now with a bit of aerial footage, and I'll hopefully see you soon.